Hello, very warm welcome to our today's YOTA online session number 9, which is the recap of December YOTA month 2020. At first, I want to wish you all a happy new year 2021. Hopefully it will be a bit better than last year. As this is the first YOTA online session this year, we want to introduce you in the beginning as well. What is YOTA online and all the stuff. At first, I'm Philip, DK6SP. I'm the Youth Working Group Chair, and me and the big team of YOTA Online have prepared another session for you today. So, if you have any questions, feel free to just drop them in the live stream chats, just underneath them. Very easy, and we will just pick them up. We have some guests tonight, so if you want to ask them anything, we will try to answer those questions during the session live. And yeah, so just comment under the live streams on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube at HamYOTA. And yeah, we will try to get them answered. So what is the agenda today? We will talk about why YOTA Online, the event circumstances itself, who are we, the team, who are our guests tonight. Then we will go on with the December YOTA month statistics of 2020. We will compare them a bit to other years. We will then move on with the podcast session, including a question and answer session with our guests, as well as having a website introduction into our self-coded website, including the newest features regarding shortwave listeners. Then we will have the YOTA Riddle prize draw in the end of the session, as well as the December YOTA month 2020 special awards, where we have wooden plaques as announced, and we will announce today the winners of these categories. Stay tuned. We have not yet having all of those winners, so one category is still open, and we will tell you a bit more about this later. And after about an hour, we will close the session and call it a day for session number 9. So, why YOTA Online? And the microphone to Finland. Go ahead, Ottawa.
Thank you, Philip. My name is Ottawa OS3 Oscar Tango, and now I'm going to tell you a little bit about why YOTA Online is happening, what are the event circumstances, and a little bit about the people that you will be seeing tonight. So, first, why YOTA Online? Actually, there are two main factors why is YOTA Online at the moment live. Because of COVID-19 pandemic, several planned YOTA events had to be cancelled or postponed until further notice. And because of that, still a lot of youngsters want to join YOTA activities each year. And that's why our team decided to create an interactive format to gather youngsters on a regular basis, meaning monthly. Then next, a little bit about event circumstances. First of all, the thing that matters the most is that YOTA Online, you can watch YOTA Online anywhere from the world, and it's completely free. We're talking each session about specific topics, including a following Q&A session, answering your questions regarding the topics that we are discussing, and we will also have a prize draw this time as well. And as usual, we will have special prizes after several YOTA Online events, so stay tuned after a few sessions. Events lasting around 1 to 1.5 hours every last Thursday of the month, so you will be waiting for around an 1 hour long session tonight. Next, who are we? The team behind working YOTA Online is a multinational team. We have Claudia, Philip, and Marcus from Germany, I, Ottawa, from Finland, Martina from Czech Republic, and Pieter and Jentel from Belgium. Today, we have a wide variety of guests. Again, we have Mohammed from Algeria, Lena from Hungary, Amalia from Italy, and Hope from the United States. I hope you're having a nice session tonight, and next we will get it to Claudia to speak a little about prize draw.
Yeah, thank you, Ottawa, for the nice introduction. So, as always, we also have a nice riddle this time again for you for tonight's session. So let us have a look at this one. Here we go. So just one thing, fill in the form in the QR code. So just one thing, remember, this time we have a new link. Yeah, check out this one. We will also share it in the stream comments and in the live chats from the live session. And this time we have two nice questions for you. So it's more or less a guess or like an estimation you have to give us. So the first thing we want to know is how many people are eligible for the Platinum December YOTA Month Award. So just for you as a short reminder, for the Platinum Award, which was the highest award we give out for December YOTA Month, was that you have to have 105 points. And yeah, so just give an estimate, have a guess, think of something you think how many people achieved this award. And the second question is, how many points did the person with the most award points achieve? So the person who got the highest amount of points last year in December YOTA month, how many points do you think this person achieved? So yeah, write down your estimations in the link in our forum, and we have also two nice prizes today, and it will be twice a ICOM merchandise. So yeah, good luck. And of course, as always, remember, if you have any questions regarding YOTA or also today's topic, just feel free to comment in the live stream, ask questions. Yeah, let us know your questions. And yeah, I'll hand over to Philip for a short recap from last December YOTA month.
Okay, thanks Ottawa and Claudia. So we will continue here with our today's main topic, the recap of the December YOTA month 2020. If it goes to the next slide, there we go. So at first, a little bit about statistics. So we compared the 2020 events with the 2019, our until then best year regarding the statistics. So as you can see here, all numbers within the brackets are numbers from 2019 or in comparison with 2019. So at first, we have 4,974 people who are eligible for any award we have on a website. That includes the bronze, the silver, gold, and platinum award. And you still have time to download yours free of charge from the award site on our events website. We will see this a little bit closer in just a few minutes. Furthermore, we have set a new QSO record this year in 2020. So we have a plus of 701 QSOs set during the 2020 edition in comparison to 2019. So congrats everybody who has been with us operating a YOTA station around the world. This has been incredible. It looked throughout the year a bit, throughout December a bit, odds if we can make it. If we can reach the 2019 QSO amount, but in the end, 701 QSOs plus in front of 2019 speak for themselves. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had two less participating YOTA stations around the world. But as you can see a little bit down there, we had 3 new member societies joining the event. These have been from Portugal, Morocco, and South Korea. So again, worldwide event. And we are very glad that we have them aboard as well now. As I told you in the first point already, 4,974 people would be eligible for downloading an award. But for now, just a few minutes ago, we have 487 less downloads than in 2019. So it's still open. Get yours now. Again, it's free of charge. Just go to the website, events.hem-yota.com, go to awards, and there you go. Just enter your call sign and download your award. In the end, a few more numbers regarding the modes we have been active on, or we, the YOTA teams worldwide. So the most common mode was SSB, so phone. We had about 47% of the QSOs. Of the 129 701 QSOs we did, 801, sorry, 129 801 QSOs in total. We had 47% phone contacts, which is a plus of 5% in comparison to 2019. Unfortunately, we had 9% less QSOs on CW, which is Morse code. So we did 25, so a quarter of all QSOs have been done by youngsters in Morse code, which is still a high number. And 28%, which is a plus of 4%, were digital and other modes. So it shows we have been active a lot. We have lost some in CW, but still digital and others, as well as phone, was really popular during the 2020 edition. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to just ask them on the live streams. Our IT team is keeping track of those. So yeah, just comment Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We are there. Continuing with the podcast. So Claudia and Martina, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Philip, and thanks also for the statistics and for the overview of December YOTA month 2020. We now want to talk with our guests about their experience about DYM in general, but of course also especially about their experience of DYM 2020, since it also has been a little bit different than the last years, because of course there weren't many huge group activities possible. So yeah, let's see if we have Lena here. We got some, I mean, we're live, that's what sometimes can happen. We got some internet connection problems here, so let's see if Lena is with us. No, so we cannot.
Yes, thank you, I'm here.
Ah, you're here, perfect. Okay, great. Cool. So Lena, could you shortly maybe introduce yourself, how you probably got to Hamradio, and yeah, probably how much experience do you have with December YOTA month 2020?
Well, 2020 was my 5th year participating in December YOTA month, and I've actually participated before I got my license as a radio amateur, so I got it into as some kind of practice. And
yeah, great. Yeah. That's cool. So December YOTA month was already a practice for you, and yeah, it's great to see that it probably also brought you to the license. That's really great. Yeah, so what was there a difference last year from previous December YOTA month? So I don't know, like how did you participate last year in the December YOTA month?
Well, last year I was totally just a participant, and I only operated Hotel Alpha 6 Yankee Oscar Tango Alpha, but this year I operated both Hungarian stations, and I was also kind of a group leader within the Hungarian YOTA month activity, because Tommy didn't have the time, so I had to gather Hungarian youngsters. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. Were you able to do some sort of group activities, like for example operating together? Like I don't know if you probably were able to do this also the years before, or was last year just for everyone on his own station?
Well, in 2019 it was pretty easy, but there weren't enough youngsters. Now we face the opposite problem, because there are so many new newly licensed operators, and because of the situation, we couldn't gather together in larger groups. So we did only one activity together on Hotel Golf 6 November State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
as YOTA.
Yeah, that's cool. Were the newly licensed also able to participate then on their own, or like probably did they miss some like guidance, or did they need some extra help from others? So was that possible somehow also, or was that this year kind of set for them since they couldn't participate probably as in years before?
Well, most of them sadly couldn't participate because like 2 of them were in boarding schools and they didn't have a school radio club, and there were also youngsters who didn't have an antenna, and we couldn't help them out. But we still managed to get more participants to participate than in previous years. So this year we were about 13, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's cool. But it's really nice to see that that you've been able to also get new youngsters and new licensed young ham radio operators, and I really hope also for them that this year the whole situation will improve, and that you probably can include them in some kind of activity maybe in this year's December YOTA month. So well, just a short kind of personal question for you, Elena, in the end. What is your favorite mode in participating for the December YOTA month, or in general?
My favorite mode is in general is CW, because I don't really like to talk.
And I also remembered that you really achieve also great results in HST, so you're really active in there. So that's probably also not a surprising answer. Yeah, and I guess you might.
I have a good sense of rhythm, so it's far more easier to.
Yeah, that's
to do
great.
CW.
And I guess you had the most QSOs in the YOTA month in CW then.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, great. Thank you, Lena, for sharing your experience and impressions from Hungary. Yeah, thank you very much. And let's hand over to Martina and Amelia.
Yeah. So, Amy, are you here with us?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. So could you please introduce yourself, say something about yourself, just shortly?
So I'm Amelia, and I'm 18 years old. My birthday was not so far ago, so yeah. And I've been participating to December YOTA month since 2017, I think. And yeah, so just since I was licensed.
Okay, that's cool. So tell us, how was the DYM 2020? How the activities look like in Italy?
Yeah, so it was very strange because in Italy especially, the situation was not very good because of COVID-19, and we had a lot of restriction during Christmas time. Like we couldn't even get out of the house except for primary purposes. So yeah, we of course couldn't go to any of the contest stations that hosted us last year's, and we couldn't do activities together because of course it wasn't possible. And the only thing that we could do was doing some Facebook lives or Instagram lives together, and to help each other with the video calls, but that's the only thing that was possible. So yeah, it was strange, but I can't say that it was boring because we still managed to have fun anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. That's really cool. So yeah, I just totally understand. It was this year was really different to the others. And okay, so tell us, how do normally the DYM look like in Italy? How, you know, some meetings if you would do, if that would be possible this year, or if you planned something, or just kind of describe the DYM in Italy.
Okay, so the DYM in Italy is very, very important to us. I mean, usually there is a lot of participation and a lot of youngsters take part to activities that we offer. For example, we get in contact with many contest stations, and we always have new ones to guarantee to everyone to have some places that are not so far from where they live, so everybody can actually join. And yeah, we also use radio club stations if we have some good ones to, yeah, so the youngsters can share and do activities together, and especially the new ones, the new arrivals, can make some experience together with the ones that are they already have some experience.
Yeah. Okay. I mean that's really great, and I think that yeah, as you said, the YOTA DYN is big. It's a huge thing. Just some like personal question. Do you remember the first time you've participated in DYN? How was the feeling? Because I think it's not the same as a normal call in. It's kind of different. So if you remember it, it wasn't that long ago, but it still was.
Well, yeah, I don't remember it clearly because my memory is not that good, but still,
yeah,
I can remember being very, very nervous because I was licensed I had my license like that same year, so I remember I was shaking almost the first time I took the microphone, and because it was my first activity and I hadn't done any contests or activation with special call signs, so it was very exciting actually. But I think the first time I operated with a YOTA call sign was from my radio club station here in Prato, where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually by myself the first time, but I joined the other youngsters during some activities in other stations. For example, there is one in Bologna, I think everybody knows it, India Yankee for Fox Golf Mike. It's quite famous, I think. So yeah, that's the first memory that I have of December YOTA month.
Okay, I understand. And how did you like the 2020, even if it was different? Did you enjoy that?
Well, I actually did, strangely, but I did, because I took the chance to try new modes. I started doing some QSOs in CW. I'm not that good, so I wasn't going fast or doing a crazy amount of QSOs, but still I tried. So I had some other youngsters with me that were helping, like Ernesto or Matteo, still from the YOTA Italy group, that also hosted CW course during the pandemic.
Okay.
And yeah, I actually worked harder, if I can say so, because, you know, well, there was not actually a lot of other things to do. So I took the occasion to work harder and to improve my radio skills, if we can say so.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Claudia, have you another question for her? Is there something you're interested in to ask?
No, I think that was nice what Amelia was telling us so far. Thank you very much. And yeah, so let's go over to Mohammed. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can, indeed.
Great. Okay. Can you maybe also shortly introduce yourself? Who are you? How did you came probably to Hamradio? Yeah, or to YOTA?
Well, I'm Mohammed Brahim. I think I'm the oldest one in this live stream. I'm 28 years old, and I'm currently the YOTA coordinator for our society, ARA, Amateur Radio of Algeria. And how I came in contact with amateur radio was in 2012. Was introduced to it by a gentleman who's now head of the club in my hometown. He showed me amateur radio, and what I like about it, not so much about operating, but more about the tinkering, about the electronics, about the hacking part of things. SDR. You should know that I have a computer science background, so I'm more into IT, into computers. So these kind of things actually appeal to me.
Yeah, and that's great. And I think also with SDR, you mentioned that, or actually, you're also a really nice example that Hamradio is even more than just operating. And yeah, I also really like the effort you put into YOTA in Algeria in general. So actually, I think you can tell us a little bit more about about what was happening in DYM 2020 in Algeria. So. Yeah, probably. Can you maybe shortly give us an overview on how did the activities look like in DYM 2020 in Algeria?
Well, in DYM, we participate with two stations. One of them is the station of my hometown, but the issue was that it was hard to get youngsters in the radio club because of the COVID. They closed the building where the station was. So we tried to operate at a distance remotely. It was quite challenging with internet speed, but we managed to get a few contacts. Also, we participated through through our association's headquarters in Algiers. We got a few youngsters in, and we showed them the interesting world of ham radio. They operated. They have quite good. See, the issue is that we're trying to get people who actually can speak English. Language is a barrier sometimes. Mm-hmm. But to avoid that, we try to contact other stations, French stations, because we do speak French, Arabic stations also. And I think that my internet is not so good. I'll just cut off my my camera. Okay, so we try to get youngsters interested into amateur radio through operation. But not only that, we also aimed for the scouts through the YOTA Joti. We had two events back to back, one in our capital, Algiers, and the next day we did it in Sétif. Because see, the scouts have they are quite well prepared for these kind of pandemics. They have the equipment, they have they are organized, so they can gather much more people, much more youngsters at the same time. So we took this opportunity to introduce them to ham radio. And the thing is that scouts should be the ones introducing us to ham radio, not us to them. But in Algeria, they strayed apart from it. So we're trying to get them back to amateur radio, and we're trying to open new scouts clubs, amateur radio clubs. But other than that, it was, for me personally, it was quite a disappointing DYM this year compared to last year.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's really great to see that that you've been able to get some activities and to do something. But I can also really imagine that it was probably like really less compared to the years before. But still, it's really great to see that. And also, so I guess that the people you or the youngsters you showed Hamradio to, they were probably new ones, right? So DYM is really also, you in Algeria, you take this really as a huge chance to introduce Hamradio to new youngsters, right?
We try to get as much youngsters as we can, and we have this philosophy where we don't call youngsters in. We actually go to them wherever they are. We try to focus on schools. We try to focus on universities, and we try to have this philosophy of having at least a 3 months period from when a youngster comes in, and if he's not interested, he can leave. But at least we try to keep them at least 3 months, so that they can actually see all the sides of amateur radio. But again, with all the restrictions that COVID brought with it, it's quite hard to get them to see real things. But we still try to do things online. We try to have courses. Just last month, we had this month, we had the exam for amateur radio certification. We had a few people taking the exam, and we're still waiting on the results. So in order to see what they will have in the exam, as sort of a revision, we try to do online sessions for the operation part of the exam and also for the technical part. And it was a great add-on to the whole exam experience.
Yeah, that's great, and it's also really nice to hear that they that you did some probably you get some also new operators. So we'll keep, of course, our fingers crossed for them to hopefully get the positive results back. But I'm quite sure that it will work, because I remember also from previous YOTA online sessions where you already talked about what you're doing, and I really appreciate also the effort you're in Algeria put into also gaining new youngsters. From probably also the ones who newly joined, because as you, for example, also said you're coming from computer science. Do you think that Hamradio is like stuck into one special field, or would you say that you also had an wide collection of different people in this course you just had?
Basically, anybody who wants to join, we welcome them. Even if they are not coming for the operation side, there are students who are interested in electronics, other people interested in computer science, other people interested in the math, antenna making, all those sort of things. So it's always great to have people around, even if you have somebody who can help you carry out an antenna, somebody who likes climbing up high trees, somebody who likes to play music, camp on fire, so you can actually operate on the side and have other people help you cook food. So it's always to have people around, even though they are not really coming there for the amateur operation. So it's a community life.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, also you need, as you said, you also need antennas. You probably also these days with SWR, so the software-defined radios, you of course also need, to people who have the knowledge about, for example, this software stuff. Actually, also talking about this, I have a question. Do you probably know the mode where you made the most QSOs with the Algerian YOTA call signs? Do you know the mode where the most QSO were made? Was it probably SSB, CW, some digital modes?
Well, I would guess that for the 7X-Ray 3 YOTA, it was more of digital modes because it was easier to operate at a distance. But for our main headquarters, I think they tried to go on SSB. Not sure whether there was any Charlie Whiskey involved, but it was. If that's your question, I'm not sure whether I answered your question.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. Actually, what is your favorite mode, or what's the thing you like much?
Oh, okay. My favorite mode while operating is SSB. I'm more of a talking guy. I'm not that good with Charlie Whiskey. I also love digital modes. They intrigue me as an IT guy. Because I like encoding data and how to encode data so they take less space, or they take less time, or they take much more bandwidth. We're also trying to experiment with how do you call that again? We're trying to experiment with Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz. We're trying to understand how to use that in case of a natural catastrophe. And how to integrate all the communication tools available to us to, for example, have in an area where there is no cellular network, we can get cellular network through radio, either through 2.5 gigahertz, as in Wi-Fi, 5 gigahertz, or try to get through HF, or in case of an emergency, of course.
Yeah, but that's now also great, because I think that's still also a huge part of amateur radio, and I think why it's also important to to test something, and also to try to new some things, try new things out to see how you can probably do something. So yeah, actually for me it's the same. I also like SSB most, but also actually. For example, during December YOTA month, I made my first FT8 QSO, and it was actually with 7 X-ray YOTA. I'm not sure whether it was 7 X-ray 2 or 7 X-ray 3, but that was also for me a really cool experience. To finally also see how FT8 works, and how to do it, and I really liked it also to get you guys down there with the YOTA call sign. That was also pretty.
We have this joke running about FT8. Some guy told me, "Is it you're operating, or you're using FT8?" It's like there are two different things. Because how FT8 is always automated. It can be automated to an extreme, like no human intervention whatsoever. But I always try to tell them that it is not meant for human communication as much as it's meant for either we use it more for tracking signals, seeing how strong the signal is, and what's the coverage, what's the propagation like, and we use it also in case of when it's very hard to get when you don't have power, you're operating QRP, or when it's really hard to actually get the power needed to get your signal over. FT8 is great for that. I try to get them to understand that.
It was also really nice for me. Actually, I saw you in the cluster, and I also wanted to achieve more points for the YOTA awards. So that's why I wanted to really get you get you in my log. It was quite some issue to get it run on my computer, but as you said, it's not like the kind of operating style we're probably used to, but I think it's still a really nice thing we should also use in amateur radio, because I mean it's an experimental hobby, and we should also try and experiment with these new technologies and this new stuff, and to see, as you said, exactly, to see where else we can use it. Thank you very much, Mohammed, for telling us about your experiences, and also DYM in Algeria. It's really great to see how much you're doing down there.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so let's hand over to Martina and Hope, and but still for our listeners, please remember that if you have any questions in general, or also to some of our guests, feel free to write them into the chat.
Yeah, great. Hope, can we hear you, or can you hear us?
can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. So please, could you again introduce yourself shortly?
Okay. Well, my name is Hope, like you said. I'm 14 years old. I've operated the Youngsters on the Air stations for the YOTA month 3 years now. All of the American stations, and then a new one this year I got to do. I have the highest class license for the American amateur radio classes. That's basically it.
Yeah,
I've been licensed for like 6 years now.
that's cool. That's really, really cool. So just could you kind of get us closer to how it looked like the DYM in the USA?
So I've done the Youngsters on the Air month in December since 2018. And I really heard about it and started doing that because of the 2018 South African YOTA camp, which I know some of you were there, but my sister went there. So after that, we started getting involved more with the other youth activities. So we started doing the Youngsters on the Air. Did it in 2019. I operated all 4 call signs for the Americans, the KHYOTNA call signs. And that year we also had a kid from Tunisia who was actually at the South African Youngsters on the Air camp. And so actually to get on the air with the American call signs. And so there was a lot of fun fellowship there for that year. 2020 was a little bit different. We didn't have anybody come over to our home shack where we operated from. But we did get to operate. So there was kind of because last year, after all the years of only working American stations, I finally got a chance to operate one of the foreign stations, and I didn't even have to go there. I operated remotely the 9 Alpha 0 Youngsters on the Air station in Croatia. So that was a lot of fun.
Okay,
Was that talking too fast? I'm sorry.
No, that's no problem. So you told that the first time was 2018, if I remember correctly. So could you, say how it was for you?
2018, it was the first year of doing it, so it was a new experience because we typically operated me and my entire family at our home shack or at local club events and stuff like that, but we didn't really get to talk to a lot of youth-driven things. So it was really fun because you could find a whole lot of Youngsters on the Air stations from all over the world and all, and so that was a new experience. Did you was that okay? Let me see if I can do that. All right, maybe that'll allow for a little more bandwidth. I was saying the 2018 Youngsters on the Air was the first year that we had operated and for the Youngsters on the Air special events. And it was a lot of fun because normally when operating, it was just me and my family in our home shack or in a club event. But we got to talk to a lot of different youth from all around the country and all around the world, which was a lot of fun. So it was a new experience that first year. Am I still breaking up? Did you not catch that?
Kind of bad. Yeah, we can probably go to another questions. So again, we are all talking about how the different this year was to compare to the last year, 2019. Yeah. So could you also say the difference there in USA, if there was some?
Well, normally when we operate the Youngsters on the Air Month stations, it's just at us at our home shack. So a lot of that didn't change for us last year because we could just still operate at home like normal. Um, but because people weren't traveling all over the place and going to the big stations, we did get, as well as a lot of other people, we got to operate stations remotely. So we operated the 9 Alpha Zero YOTA for the Croatian Youngsters on the Air station. So that was different to operate the DX stations.
Yeah, could you please talk a bit more about Croatia, because it's kind of unbelievable, I'd say, because most of us just, are not doing that. So kind of, get closer to Croatia, how it was.
I'm sorry. You're breaking up. I guess I must be breaking up. Did you catch what I had said before?
Yeah, I did. And my another question is, if you could talk a bit more about Croatia.
Oh, operating the Croatia station?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we got to operate that station remotely from home, and it was fun because it was on the air station, which everybody wanted to work in anyway. More foreign station, and a lot of the people chasing it are very interested in the American stations because there's just so many of us, to be honest. So it was a lot of pile-ups, and it was different because I had to go and memorize all the Region 2. Well, I think it was Region 2. All the Region 1, sorry. I had to relearn all the bands and all that kind of stuff. But it was still a lot of fun. And we got to talk to a whole bunch of people. I think we ended up breaking some record with the amount of contacts in an hour. So that was fun.
Yeah, okay. Well, do you have like a funny story or just something that came of your mind when we say DYM, some fun fact or something like that?
I don't have a particular story about when operating. In 2019, we did get to get a Tunisian kid on the air with some of the American call signs. It was lower. Of a lot of people went on. We tried to talk to bands. Not a lot of them were active because people could. Other than being a little bit different, I think basically got into it because people were at home and they're trying to work us. So I still think that it was a pretty good turnout and it was a lot of fun.
Okay, great. So I have the last question, and that's how did you enjoy the 2020 DYM?
I enjoyed it a lot. Our whole family got on the air with all the American call signs, as well as me and my sisters operated the Croatian station. And it was a lot of fun. We made a lot of contacts, worked a whole lot of old time hams and also youngsters. So it was a good turnout.
Okay, many thanks for sharing your experience. And I'm not sure who will get the mic after me, so just please, the one.
Yeah, it's just me again. Also, thank you very much for to our guests for sharing their experiences and yeah, all the stuff and the effort they put into ham radio and youth in general, but of course also in the DYM. And yeah, as a short reminder for our listeners, please also remember that we have the YOTA Riddle still ongoing. So we want to know that guess on how many people were eligible for the Platinum December YOTA Month Award. So that means that they got minimum 105 points. So that's actually a lot of different stations or digital or modes, also on different bands. Yeah, and also the second question is, what do you think? How many points did a person achieve? Did the person achieve with the most award points? So let us know your guesses and your estimation in the forum. And yeah, I'm going to hand over to our IT guys who want to show us shortly the DYM 2020 website.
All right, thank you. I'll just share my screen and it's gonna be this one. All right. So what you see here is, well, a local copy of the website for testing and demonstration reasons. So barring the picture in the background and all the other pictures that happen to be broken here, this is basically the same website as the one that you see on events.ham-yota.com. What I wanted to remind you of first and foremost was the SWL feature. We had announced that as like pre-announced or so in the October session, I think, where Jensel demonstrated it. We had it uploaded that version to our server end of December, but missed a configuration setting, so it was missing. So now it's here. So all of you SWLs or non-SWLs that maybe still do SWL awards for reasons. If you click at the top of the page on SWL, you will, well, have to log in, or in my case, I'm logged in already. Then there's, once again, an explanation of the rules. It's the same rules, same point scoring system as for normal operators. To get your award, you go to the logbook page where you can log your contacts that you have heard. So let's just go for an example contact that someone might have heard, which would be, let's say, one of the first QSOs that happens at basically any DYM is the German call side with the QSL manager, which is Mike 0 Sierra Delta Victor. This time an 80 meter CW call, so well 599 calls. It was on the 1st of December, right at 0 UTC. So you enter the data and then click add QSO, and it's gonna be added down here, and you'll see 2 question marks as status. The first question mark is whether or not it has been confirmed by another SWL. So for example, if now another SWL logs the same QSO, you will see a check mark here. And the second check mark means the QSO has been confirmed by the YOTA station. So as soon as the YOTA station uploads the corresponding log, you will see a check mark at the second question mark. And now, please be a bit patient, as we don't update that instantly, but instead it's a synchronization is run, I think, every hour. So if you've entered a QSO here and it shows up as question mark, like this one, for example, don't be afraid that something might be broken. It just takes a while to register, or I'll just cheat, as I've got the local instance here, and now it's not working. Great. Things are not working. Maybe I should have tested before. So this should then eventually turn into a check mark. And at that point, you can go to the awards page. And once you have achieved the appropriate amount of points, that is 15 bronze, 35 silver, 65 gold, and 105 for platinum, you can then download it just as any other person can. Another thing you'll see at the top here is request QSL. That link is there, but unfortunately it doesn't work yet. So what we instead set up quickly is if you go to the main page, you will see QSL information up here. You click that and then click here on if you're an SWL and want to receive your QSL cards, please fill out this form. Let me just make it larger like that. So this is unfortunately still manual as we didn't get around to getting that done this year. So you click this form, then end up on our Nextcloud instance, and there you can just fill in the usual data. That is your calls, SWL call sign. The YOTA station you got, date, time, and so on. Well, the usual stuff should all be familiar to you. And then we will manually check them and send out the QSL cards together with our whole batch, probably like February or March, around that time. So that's the stuff that was added for this year. Now there's, well, some other stuff that I just wanted to mention because we noticed it earlier. So you all know this awards page and have, if you have achieved them, downloaded your awards from there. One thing we do, for example, if I were to if we were to enter, whoops, my call sign, Delta Lima 8 Golf Mike, it will also count a portable call. So for example, this one would also count, or if I were to work at another station, or for example remotely in Croatia, as the station was available there, as many people did, it would be like that. So what we basically ended up doing is when we check for awards, we check for the call sign slash anything, or anything slash the call sign, and of course on both sides as well. This had a pretty interesting side effect, as we noticed. So incidentally, we could find how many points any portable station achieved. So this is going to be one of the weirdest awards you'll probably ever see. And that is, if we just enter P for portable, we will find that actually, if we count all portable stations together, we have achieved 161 award points. For those wondering, those do not count towards the riddle. So we have made sure that P does not count as a valid call sign for this. The same also goes for mobile stations, and similarly for if we were, to, for example, only at 9 alpha. This is also why we did not have a leaderboard last year, and also not one this year. So all the stuff that you're seeing is, or like what you're guessing for the riddle. We didn't know ourselves either. So the awards, we've checked for those like 2 or 3 days ago. We finally figured out who got the most points. And as for how many people were actually eligible for a Platinum Award, we figured that out about 2 hours ago. So we ourselves had no idea like how many people will have gotten the awards and about the numbers to guess. So it was for us about as much as a wild guess as it was for you. But yeah, I hope you had fun guessing, or still are guessing. It's just a very short time left to see what you can do. Well, what else? There's well, some more technical stuff that we had for one, if you're mainly going to be interesting for the IT guys now. But I know there's some people listening, or for example, Mohammed at 7x2TL also said he's a computer science guy. So I think at least some people listening here can relate. If you're entering a call sign with a 0, please also enter it as a 0. So for example, our QSL manager is M0SDV. We have gotten logs where from YOTA stations where people wouldn't write a 0, but they'd write how you do it when handwriting, but not when like you do it on a computer. So people would write call signs like M-SDV using the Scandinavian letter. So yeah, please just write zeros. It makes things a lot easier for us. It took us quite a bit to figure out where that went wrong. And another thing, you'd think that one of the most common features that any software does, mostly contest softwares, they are going to be very aware of it, is checking for dupes. Turns out checking for dupes is not trivial when you combine all sorts of logs. So we had, for example, people uploading logs from different stations that work the same YOTA call sign and then combining them and uploading them again. So you'll see those numbers here, those 137,000. If you've listened to Phil earlier, you will have noticed that we didn't quite manage to get that many QSOs. We managed to clear out most dupes, and now we're a bit under 130,000. So I also want to apologize for that. It's not easy to filter out dupes. Because logging software, when they import a log, like to change modes. For example, some software might save it as SSB, another software might save it as USB, or other software just as PH. And similarly, some software save the seconds as well. Some software only saves the minutes from a time that a QSO was done. So we had quite a lot more work than was expected. We figured people would just upload the logs, but yeah, people did interesting things. So we apologize for any of that mess that might have shown up, or duplicate QSOs or missing QSOs, as for example, we sometimes had to delete an entire station's logs and re-upload them to fix what has happened. So yeah, we apologize for that. We hope we can improve on that next year. But yeah, that's it from a website point of view. There's one last thing. Maybe some more inclined developers have noticed this bar at the bottom. Yes, it's a PHP Laravel application. If you know PHP, or you don't know PHP but want to learn it, or just in general want to help us, we are always looking for motivated developers. Be it motivated for PHP or motivated just for development, so that can help us hopefully get some more features into the software for next year's. We have quite a backlog still to work on, and some of us, like I myself, had some more time but don't know PHP well. Some others know PHP well but didn't have much time. So any interested developers or software guys, please just write us, drop us an email to, well, let me just use this here. This is our developer email. So if you're interested in helping us out for next year, drop us an email to dev@ham-yota.com, and we're sure we can find something for you to work on this website. Yeah.
Okay, awesome, Markus. Thanks for the view from the viewer perspective. Could you just shortly show us some behind the scenes on the administration side of the page as well, just shortly?
I can, yes. So this is what we admins have. Now this is a local instance which already had the fixed QSO counts. Well, what do we have? Participants and users. I'm not going to show those because that contains personal data, email addresses, phone numbers, and whatnot. But for example, one thing that we've been working on that is uploads of like this is something we can see what have been uploaded, like random errors, for example. This is what happens when people write an Ö instead of an O, and that's what we see, and then we try to figure out from the logs. If you see the public logbook on our page, this one, you'll see that it only has the dates. As admins, we can of course see the times as well for log checking purposes and similar. Then we can also cheat, of course. Of course, admins can cheat. We can generate an award for anybody that, like for any call site that would be needed. This is what we in the past also used for making SWL awards. Now it hopefully won't be needed anymore, but there might still be some weird cases. Then participants and users is user management and similar. That one we are not going to show for privacy reasons. QSL, it was there. It's not finished yet. So this was planned to integrate the SWL QSL requests through our system with automated checking and whatnot. Now it's still manual, so that's not there. That's something you could work on if you're interested in helping us developing our site. And well, lastly, it would be settings, which is all sorts of like administrative stuff, text and similar. Yeah, that's what we do as admins when we are working with the site. So we, as you can see, we don't see much more, but we have a few more tools at our disposal than the normal user has.
Many thanks, Marcus, for introducing us as well to the administration part of the website. So as Marcus said, we are always looking for encouraged new people helping us out with the YOTA program. So not only on the developer side, we're also looking all the time for people helping us with PR, with planning fairs and stuff like this. So if you want to reach out to us, just drop us an email or drop us a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever. And let's talk about stuff we can do together. So Claudia, once more back to you. I will just share the screen and then there you go.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Philip. So from now on, you guys have 2 minutes left for filling out the riddle. So just as a short reminder, Marcus also shortly showed us more about the website and as a reminder for our questions. So first swing estimate, what do you think, how many people are eligible for the Platinum December YOTA month? So that means minimum 105 points. So Platinum is the highest award you can achieve. And yeah, the other question is, or the other thing we want you guys to guess is, what do you think, how many points did the person with the most award points achieve? And yeah, so take your chance, use the either the link in the live stream chat or this QR code. And yeah, it's now nearly one minute left. So fill out the form if you still want to win or have the chance to win two ICOM merchant, one of two ICOM merchandises. So that way. Yeah, and now I'm going to hand over back to Philip, who will tell us about the special awards we give out this time.
Now you could hear me. Firstly, beforehand, short reminder, if you have any questions, just ask them in the chats. As I said, the IT team is taking track of them. So feel free to comment there on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So we are going over to the special awards. So this is something new we introduced in the 2020 edition of December YOTA month. So we have made it possible to have wooden plaques. So these wooden plaques are very special, and so once we have the first wooden plaques done by our factory in Hungary, We will show them with you, of course, on our social media channels and get to know the look to you. The happy winners have been informed beforehand. Some of them are already here within the live stream, so they are watching as well. And I just want to give you a short introduction about the 7 different categories we introduced in 2020 edition. We surely can talk about other categories for this year's edition, 2021. But the 7 different categories this time have been the following. So we wanted to have most stations contacted in CW. CW means Morse code. So most YOTA stations contacted in Morse code. So if you are doing the December YOTA month and work the YOTA stations, we have the big database where all the YOTA stations upload the logs. And we can therefore filter for the first station to contact the most unique YOTA stations in Morse code mode within the award program. So this is the first category. Second one is the same, but for phone, for SSB, single sideband. Third one is for the digital modes like FT8, FT4, PSK, whatever. All this combined. So we have Morse code, we have sideband, as well as digital and other modes. So these are the 3 for the most YOTA stations contacted. Then we have another one for most stations contacted overall. So this means this is the highest score which we ask for in the prize draw. So these are the 4 different categories I just spoke about, and then we have 3 more. One contains the best overall score for an old man. An old man is indicated by being over 26. So yeah, this is one. Then we have the best overall score for a young lady. Young lady doesn't have an age, as you all know. In amateur radio, young ladies don't have an age. They always have a 00 as an age. And then we have the best overall score for any youngster participating within the award program. So the best overall score achieved by a youngster under the age of 26. So on the next slide, we have those winners, and I will hand over the microphone back to Claudia for this special event now. So go ahead.
Yes, so let's see who are our DYM Special Award winners. So let's look at all those different categories. So the most station contacted in CW, wait, now here we go. So the most stations contacted in CW were Bela, Hotel Alpha 8 Zulu Bravo. Congratulations. And yeah, so one moment. No. So now we mixed up something. I'm sorry, we're shortly back. Ta-da. So now here we go. So yeah, congratulations to Bela, and also congratulations to Tom. Golf 1 Italy Zulu Quebec for contacting the most stations in SSB, and also to Jan Oscar Mike 5 Zulu Uniform for contacting most station in digital modes. And most stations contacted in general was Carol Sierra Papa 5 Alpha Kilo Papa. Congratulations. And yeah, the best overall score for OMs was Frederick Fox for H Quebec Oscar. So congratulations, Frederick. I think I've seen you writing something in the chat. Congratulations again. And the best overall score for YLs goes to Gisela, Delta Golf 9, November Golf Oscar also. Congratulations to you.
So as you have seen all those winners, so we have a winner from Hungary, we have a winner from England, we have a winner from Slovakia, from Poland, from France, from Germany. But TBA, what is this? So the best overall score youngster is not yet decided. So basically, we do not have the knowledge in our database how old the operators are. So now it is your chance, youngsters out there. If you have worked YOTA stations during the December YOTA month 2020, and you have a score over the Bronze Award, so achieving the Bronze Award or higher, feel free to drop us an email at dym@ham-yota.com with your call sign where you have participated, as well as your age, so we can verify you're under the age of 26. You have 2 days, so until the upcoming Saturday, 13th of January, 23:59 UTC. So again, that's the Saturday, upcoming Saturday, the 30th of January, 2021 at 23:59 UTC. Drop us an email at dym@ham-yota.com. And again, drop us your call sign as well as the age if you achieved over the Bronze Award. And the station with the most points will receive an email from us that you have won the best overall score of a youngster. So basically, again, drop us an email if you want to win this. And yeah, let's see where this all goes. Let's find a winner together. So this information will be shared on our social media channels as well as the website as well, shortly after the session here. So you have the chance to see all the information there again. Yeah. Thanks again for all participating within the December YOTA month. It was a great pleasure to have you all involved in this special event. Congratulations again to all the winners, all achievements of the awards. Congratulations on the wooden plaque winners. You did a great job. Hopefully it's an honor for you as well. And we received great text from all of these guys already by mail. So thanks again for these. Yeah, this was the December YOTA month special awards. So we are sliding into the session closing already. One more reminder, if you have any questions, now is your last chance to ask them. If there's nothing else coming up in the chat now, yeah, we are going over for the YOTA Riddle one more last time. And yeah, Marcus, go ahead. Let's see who won the 2 packages today.
Yes, so it's been spoiled earlier because I messed up. So the winner in terms of for the YOTA, for the icon vest, that is the person that guessed the closest for the number of people eligible for Platinum Awards. It was a very close guess. So the total number of people that could download a Platinum Award is 114. Emre guessed 112, so that's only 2 off. That's a very good guess, and that means the icon vest will go to Turkey. And the other one, I don't know if some of you already looked up after seeing the previous slide what Frederick got in terms of points. It's 262 points, and the closest guess in that regard was Johannes, Delta Lima 7 Juliet Bravo, who guessed 230. Somebody stole my screen. There you go. Johannes, Delta Lima 7 Juliet Bravo is gonna get an icon merch package with a cap, a mask, a USB stick, a desk, a drawer organizer, and some lanyards. He guessed 230 points and was thus off by 32, but still the closest guess that we received in terms of number of points by the most points plaque winner. So yes, that's our riddle sorted out for this time.
Thank you, Marcus, for those winners. Congratulations again. We will drop you an email most probably tomorrow and asking for your shipping details so we can get the stuff to you and have fun with those ICOM merchandise. Here on the picture you can see one of the last session winners, which is Furkan, Tango Alpha 7 Alpha Oscar Fox, wearing proudly his ICOM merch down there in Turkey. Congratulations. All the other shipments are on their way. We know that it already arrived in the Netherlands as well as Turkey. US is on the way, and the radio which was shipped down to South Africa is still on the ship or somewhere else. The tracking shows it's on the way. So if you're listening, Matthew, your radio is on the way. So this was the YOTA Riddle. There we go. Then we just continue with the upcoming events. We have 3 things here on the slide. First one is the next YOTA online session, number 10, on Thursday, the 25th of February 2020 at 1900 UTC again. We will announce the topic shortly on social media as well as the website. Send out a press release for everybody view. The next thing which is coming up is a YOTA camp. A YOTA camp in Region 3, 2-day event by YOTA Oceania, the Jock White Memorial Field Day Youth Event 2021 on the 27th and 28th of February 2021. So this is just after our YOTA online session number 10. Our YOTA online session is on Thursday, and the YOTA Oceania Field Day Youth event is on the coming up Saturday and Sunday after the YOTA online session. Those youngsters will be QRV, so on the air, active on the bands as Zulu Lima 6 YOTA, the youngsters on the air station from New Zealand. So try to give them a call on the bands. Hopefully there will be some conditions in February then, and we are able to hear them all around the world. Furthermore, we have a third point on the slide saying the first batch of the December YOTA month QSL cards will be printed mid of February, so in about 2 to 3 weeks. We are in close contact with a new company. Just for a bit of background for you all, as it's the December YOTA month recap, we have acquired a new printer for all our QSL cards. So if you order your QSL card on Clublock via the OQRS, online QSL requesting system, every call sign from this year should be open. So feel free to request your cards there. We can either send them via the bureau, so you have to be a member of the bureau, so this is free of charge. This is the thing we want to have for all those participating within the YOTA events. So one option is always free. We have this bureau option for everybody, free if you have had a QSO with one of the YOTA stations during DYM. If you want to receive it via direct, it's also possible. All the instruction is on the OQRS page, and if you have any questions, just drop us an email at qsl@ham-yota.com. Our QSL manager is happy to answer those. If you want to have any QSL cards from back in the days, back from the beginning, from 2013 to 2020, also feel free to drop us an email. A lot is doable. We will see what we can do for you. If we have the old data available, it should be no problem, as the first batch of DYM QSL cards is just a big ADF file, which we drop off at the printer, and then the printer will just take care of printing all the ADF data into those QSL cards. And all those QSL cards will, of course, contain information about the YOTA stations themselves, including CQ zone, ITU zone, country, etc., PP. Also, if you have any old SWL contacts you want to request, just use the form which is linked on the events homepage, on the DYM homepage, and just drop all the information there. We see what we can do. We do not have all the data from back in the days, but I would say we have the most of it. And if we are missing something, we will get the logs somehow. So yeah, feel free to use all those. We will see what we can for you. And yeah, if there are any questions regarding the December YOTA month, just reach out to us at dym@ham-yota.com. Yeah, exactly. So these are the upcoming events. We are getting over to the session closing now. So as always, please follow us on our social media accounts, on all our profiles there. We are active on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, as you saw today. We are also on Twitter and on TikTok, where we are at HamYOTA, as well as on Instagram, where we are HamYOTA_official. And if you don't use social media, we are always glad to receive feedback also, either via direct messenger on those social media channels, as well as pr@ham-yota.com via email. So this for here. As I said, we are very new on TikTok and Instagram Reels, so we have some content there as well. Feel free to watch, share, like, whatever. Just go there. We have planned some more content here. If you want to support us with this stuff on social media, just drop us a message, and we will be very glad to have you aboard the team if everything fits. So this was Instagram Reels and TikTok for the youngsters on the air channels, which leads me to the last slide of today. Many thanks for being with us for the past 1.5 hours. I hope you enjoyed watching today's session, the recap of December YOTA month 2020. And the last thing to say today, many thanks. Enjoy the evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you are over the world. I have read on the different live stream chats, we have viewers from around the world. Even Sri Lanka was there watching us. So many thanks, and hope to catch you next time. As I said, always the last Thursday of the month. 1900 UTC, so 73s, and hope to catch you later. This was the YOTA Online team, 73s, and bye-bye.